Good morning, warriors. Welcome to the U Movement. I am B. This morning, I woke up to 3 messages, and I love threes. Threes is a sacred number for me. I woke up to 3 messages, 2 from clients and 1 from a viewer here on YouTube, expressing their gratitude to me for the assistance that I provided them, both as private clients and through my videos. And I really wanted to hop on and say thank you, because it means the absolute world to me to know that my mission of bringing forth this channel and bringing myself forth as an intuitive counselor with extensive experience escaping from narcissistic abuse and healing the damage that narcissistic abuse causes, because I think at the root of all of my many health conditions, it is narcissistic abuse. And I have an entire playlist with over 80 videos focused on narcissistic abuse recovery, because I myself have been forced to recover and heal from the extensive damage that is done because of abuse. And, I myself could not have foreseen that my experiences as a child and throughout my life would be, in fact, my divine purpose. The very fact that I can take these horrific experiences and turn them into a tool that can help other people escape, identify and escape and recover from these types of abuses restores a little faith that I have in my own purpose here on this planet. And the last 4 days have been exceptionally dark and difficult as I've traversed through another round of ego death, wherein there is a complete collapse of understanding who self is and self's purpose. So to know that I am making an impact and able to help facilitate others in their own experiences and give words where before there was silence and confusion, and give support where before there was often further gaslighting and propping up of systems. Because abuse is not something that one person does to another person. Narcissistic individuals rally troops around them, and those that are around them within the structure prop up and support the abuser, not the abused. It is exceptionally difficult, probably the most difficult thing I've ever had to endure and then escape from and then recover from, than most people couldn't fathom. Like, they just couldn't, because narcissistic abuse is, as I've often described, like trying to grasp hold of smoke. You aren't left with definitive, look what they did. It's very hard to identify. It's very hard to label. It's very hard to prove. And it's just very hard. It is beyond difficult. And those that are around the narcissist see a different side to them because they wear many faces, and oftentimes they support. They offer support. Maybe in my case, it was a failure of protection on grand scale, a participation in the abuses. My mother would rally other family members to participate in the bullying, in the ridicule, and then the extended family was at such a great distance that they neither saw nor believed or supported me in any way, shape, or form, and in fact went against me for doing my channel. And that's fine. That's their own prerogative. I don't consider them to be family anymore, because they've never once been there for me. And I've had the support of what has become my family through my channel and through meeting Soul Tribe, which I'm so incredibly grateful for. To have had virtual strangers support me through what has been the hardest few years of my life, kept me going. This channel kept me going when I had nothing else. Because I knew, because of what I was suffering and had suffered and had researched, to verify and finally receive validation. And that's huge because oftentimes an individual who's been gaslit the majority of their life has never received validation. And because of the unique position that I am in after experiencing close to 50 years of narcissistic abuse, I am highly educated and highly in a position of understanding and therefore compassion for others that have experienced this. I'm all too familiar with the brain damage that is caused, and this is scientifically proven now. The size of your amygdala swells when you're in a constant state of fight or flight, and your brain chemistry is hijacked. It is like they purposefully milk you, milk your adrenals so that you're constantly in a state of like reaction. And when that is what is happening to your biological system, your physical being over time develops many conditions. And it is a response to those traumas that people desperately seek outside of themselves, addictive behaviors and coping strategies, as maladaptive as they may be, to help keep them alive. Because feeling the feelings and releasing the trauma that gets stored in the body, which is why there is, over time, so many health conditions associated with trauma and abuse. Weight being because people turn to food as a coping strategy. Issues then get, it's a ripple effect out into dis-ease and discomfort and disorders and everything else. It accumulates. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill until there's an absolute avalanche that overwhelms the system. And my system was overwhelmed. Nobody is raised in a vacuum. The environmental factors of addiction, of your health and wellness, mentally, physically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, it is all comes to that root place of childhood experience. And when you're raised in a system that not only is propped up by the people around it and propped up by society around it, there isn't like clinics one can go to for narcissistic abuse. In fact, until recently, those terms didn't really exist in our vernacular. And so people have had to attempt to navigate through a world where we're not even recognizing what the root cause or the problem is. People will go in to doctors, to counselors, that have no experience in trauma and no education in the devastation that narcissistic abuse does to an individual. And they feel completely lost and alone. And then beyond that, it is a generational curse that has been passed down from the beginning, because historically you were told, pull yourself together, children shouldn't cry, all these beliefs and further structures that have held this process in place, this abusive process in place. So for whatever reason, my soul decided that it was going to come down and it was going to experience some horrific things. And that as painful and as much suffering as I have experienced and endured because of that, it has put me in a role that I can now help facilitate others in their own journeys, escaping from these binds, these situations. So to know that I am making an impact, restores in me faith that there is a meaning to what happened. I've gone through my most of my life feeling utterly alone misunderstood, unseen, unheard, unvalued, and very, very depressed. To be finally seen, to finally be heard, to finally be understood, and to be valued is such a dramatic shift. It's mind-blowing. I had so much grief inside of me through my awakening as I've been processing through all of the trauma releases and all of the pain and suffering that came along with those experiences. There's been many times on this journey I didn't know how to, or more to the point, I didn't know why I was, everything was happening as it was happening, and I didn't understand the point of it all. I'm sitting in this moment in extreme gratitude that my life experiences can help others, and that there's a usefulness to me, and because of the experiences that I had. All along this awakening, I've been praying to God to make me useful. Because I was told I was incapable of doing anything routinely. And I've definitely proved that to be wrong, as I've one after another climbed the mountains, moved the mountains that were in my way, physical health being the first and foremost. All of the attachments that I had, so that I could finally learn how to feel again. And that was exceptionally difficult. And I understand how anyone is struggling to let go of those types of attachments, because I had to do it myself, one at a time. Quit smoking, quit drinking, quit caffeine, quit comfort eating, quit sugar, quit cannabis, quit sacred medicines, quit hair dye and makeup, and sit in truth, and sit in authenticity, and sit in the feelings. And there's a war on feelings, which also props up a system that says to people that have experienced trauma and abuse that their feelings or their responses to being abused or traumatized are what the problem is, instead of looking at what the problem is, which is the abuse, which is the trauma that, in my opinion, everyone carries, because where there is a lack of empathy and a lack of understanding, there is a trauma behind it. And where there is an abundance of emotions, an abundance of empathy to the point of self-sacrifice, there is a trauma behind it. So we have a system that generation after generation traumatizes people and divides them into becoming emotionally unattached and devoid of compassion and care for others, and creates narcissists after narcissists. Narcissists aren't created in a vacuum either, or neither are their victims. So we create these individuals that are so deeply wounded that they see the only way to survive in the world is to go out and wound others. And then we have another division on the other side where people see the only way to survive is to become abundantly empathic to the point of self-sacrifice, and so the cycle continues. It starts in our childhood in dysfunctional families, and then ripples out into more dysfunctional relationships, and then we have children, and the legacy continues. And breaking the legacy of narcissistic abuse and trauma is my purpose here, is to help hold space for people who have experienced this trauma in their lives and had most of their lives being unseen, unheard, unvalued, and I want to shut that down. And the fact that I've not only shut it down for me, but I'm helping others shut it down as well. I have gratitude for that. So thank you. Thank you for being there for me, and for hearing me, and for seeing value in my work in front of this camera. Thank you for, taking a chance on me as somebody that can help facilitate change for you, real change. I don't come from a system of that others out there. I am utterly unique in my background. Yes, my education starts from Addictions Counselling and moved into a more spiritual world of being a Reiki Master and Spiritual Teacher. But my lineage, I don't follow anyone else's teachings per se. That is like, this is I haven't walked the same path that anyone else has walked. My path has been completely and utterly unique, grabbing from this and that and accumulating information as I've gone through my entire life, from every source that I could find, to get tools and strategies and things that actually worked. I've been in this wounded healer archetype for some time, and looked to Buddhism, and looked to native teachings, and looked to Christianity, and looked to Judaism, and looked to spiritual New Age teachings, and looked to psychological backgrounds and sociological understandings, and trauma teachers. And, I've looked high, low, and everywhere for the last 30 years to find tools and strategies that could help free me. And then I've sat myself in front of a camera to share the tools that work, and the tools that actually make lasting impact, I've used me as my beta test. And if I can do it, you can too, and I can help you do it, because I've been there. I have been there. Yes, I've read things in books, and there are some incredible teachers out there, and I can send you a book list. I've done a video on my top books anyways, but I can send you a book list if that's your means of learning. Otherwise, if you're wanting to work with me and start seeing some real change, where before you felt unheard or felt misunderstood, I have a feeling that there's a lot more in me to provide a lot of you out there with the path, to light the path, to escape from that. So thank you, and thank you for the comments, the support, the likes, the shares, the subscriptions. Seriously, those that have been promoting me, and I know who you are. I know who some of you are. I have so much gratitude for you. The growth of my channel has been insanely slow. I've been plugging at this for a very long time. I still don't, I haven't made any money out of this at all yet. And, from the channel, and because it hasn't reached all its matrix, but I'm hoping that I can touch and reach as many lonely, lost people as I can find. Because I wouldn't want anyone to feel like I felt, and I don't want to lose anyone else. I don't want to lose anyone else. So this is a soggy video, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. Peace in.